So sitting on the mat and cross-legged this morning. I'm not giving you a choice, but if you're really uncomfortable, then do choose to sit in a different position. I'm sitting on my block as usual because I just find that helps me. My hips fall out a little bit more that way. If you've got tight hips that fold, mine do the opposite from everybody else's. So mine will fold in the wrong direction. So make it comfortable. She's not here this morning, I don't think, but I thought untie your knots was quite clever because this week we've had one of us tie the knot, haven't we, when Lara got married. So if you're listening to this later, Lara, we're thinking of you. Okay, so find your posture points, just find that ease in them. So find your posture points and then soften a little bit. Let your shoulders just slip down your back. It's an easier morning this morning. Nothing too strenuous, no wild things getting thrown into the party. I did put a video up if anybody wants to watch it on how to do wild things. So you can have a look at that on Facebook or Instagram. Okay, so we've come to the mat. We're thinking about untying knots, which we all have, many of, I'm quite sure. So first of all, let's just start by taking your fingers or the heel of your hand, finding that Anya chakra, your third eye, and just do some little circles. So you'll know when you've hit it, it's not exactly between your eyebrows, it's just, in mine anyway, it's just slightly above. But when you find the right pressure point there, there's an ah sensation as you start to massage it. Close your eyes and see if it makes it slightly different. So take a circle one way and then the other way, just have a little move around in that area, see what connects, what really makes you go, ah. There is a point on a cat's head, I think it is, Lucy was showing me, that if you rub it, it just basically flakes. It doesn't know what to do with itself, it just flops. So I think if you find the right spot here, you'll do the same. So this is a third chakra, Anya chakra, a third eye often called. It's a perception, and it's the ability to see clearly. It's the center of our emotional intelligence, our intuition, and our wisdom. So hopefully by just having a little bit of a massage here, we're just opening up any blockages that are in there to find some intuition this morning. Okay, so when you've had enough of that, pop your hand down on your knee. Just feel the resonance. Notice if there's any difference in a sort of light feeling there, as in colour light, maybe a bit of an electrical sensation, maybe an opening sensation or a flooding sensation. Just notice what's happening just in that spot that you've been connected with there. So then we're going to take our breath practice now. So we're going to take Nadi Shodanam, which is inhale right, exhale left, exhale right. So it's a continual round. So find your mudra and pop your fingers again in that spot or fold them in, whichever you feel more comfortable with. Ring finger is your left nostril, thumb is your right. So begin with a right inhale for 4, closing the left off gently. Right down to the belly, and then close off the right and exhale through your left. Inhale through the left, your count of 4, try and make it nice and long and smooth. And then exhale through the right. Take 2 more breaths on your own time and around, so right, left, right. See, as you do that, if you can connect to that spot between your eyebrows and draw your breath up in through that area and feel the breath leave through the nostrils, but coming through that Sushumna Nadi area in the middle. And then once you've taken your second round, then let go of the breath for a second. We're going to do 2 more rounds of this, but we're going to do a couple of little mantras, no Sanskrit, just a little mantra with each, if you're comfortable. So with the first one, we're going to say, as we inhale into our heads, just as you inhale, say, I have. And as you exhale in your head, say the answers. So 2 rounds of inhale, I have, exhale, the answers. Exhale is through your left, the first one, then you inhale through your left as you say, I have to yourself. Or, no, you can't say it out loud. Inhale, I have, exhale, the answers. Try and keep the speed long and smooth still. And after the second one, let go. Let your hand drop again for a second. Just feel if there's any resonance and say to yourself in your head without the breath practice, I have the answers. Or maybe even out loud, say, I have the answers. And then we're going to come back to the breath again and back to Nadi Shodanam. So we're ready. The second mantra is, I trust my feelings. So find your breath again. Find the inhale through the right nostril to start with I trust. Change to the left nostril to exhale, my feelings. Inhale left, I trust. Exhale right, my feelings. Take one more round without me saying the words. And when you finish your second round, finishing with an exhale on the right side, release the breath, just close your eyes and just breathe for a second. Go back to that third eye, your Anya chakra, and notice if there's still a connection there and what you see and what you feel. And then slowly open your eyes. So that's our third eye, but we spoke a little bit this week about our peripheral vision being really important. It was a very nasty accident up the road here yesterday, and it made me think again about the peripheral vision being really important. So it's seeing things at the side of our eyes, obviously. So we're just going to use our eyes in a little bit of an exercise here by just circling them. We've done it before, but just important to keep the eye muscles going as well physically, and that connection to our side. So open eyes, and we're looking to the right. So head still stays forward, but just moving the eyes to look to the right as far as you can. And then we're rolling them up to look up above to our hairline. And then rolling them down over to the left. And then rolling them down to look down towards your feet, or your end of your nose, really. And then go the other way to the left. Look up towards your third eye. Look over towards your right. And then down towards your feet. And then let's just do a random one. See if you can follow it as I say them. So look to the left. Look down your nose. Look up. Look back to the left. Look over to your right. Back to the end of your nose. back over to the right, and back up to your hairline. And then allow your eyes just to center, let them rest for a second. See if you actually might feel a little bit tired doing that, but it probably means we need to exercise the muscles a bit more. So we're going to bring our straps in now. Not going to tie ourselves in, no, don't worry too much. Hopefully we won't anyway. So grab your straps, you'll need your bricks towards the end. So if you haven't got them handy at the same time, grab them. And take your strap and just place it on your knees. So that's about the width you want. Grab it with both hands between your thumb and your palm, quite a light hold, not too tight, so that it can slide if you need to. Now we're going to find a posture again. So draw in the tummy and roll the bottom under slightly. Find your heart and that spot between your shoulder blades. Let the shoulders soften. Let the elbows feel as if they're drooping down. Let the chin tuck back and find that long back of neck. Okay, so holding that position, we're going to lift the strap up above our head. We're going to take our eyes up with the strap now and look up as you move it until you just are about at the end of your vision point, looking up. You can tip your head slightly and then lower it, but follow the strap as you lower it down. And 2 more of those. So we're watching the strap as we take it up. So we are warming up the shoulders, but we're still exercising our eyes. Try not to tip your head too far back. So as soon as the strap goes out your vision, that's the point to stop and bring it back down. Find your breath if you can, do it with the breath. Really connect, take your time with it. Think of the slow movement through your shoulders. We've used them quite a lot this week, I realise, so not a bad thing to just warm them up slowly. After the third one, we're going to take our side bends now. So take the strap up above your head and then see if you can connect with it. And we're going to take our strap down towards our right. So the eyes will go to the right, kind of following your hand. Might need to make the strap a little bit bigger to get that side bend in. Just watch the metal bit in your nose like I've just hit myself. Breathing in, we're coming back up to the top. Your strap should be at the right width now. It's quite a lot wider. And then we're going over to the left as we exhale. But follow with your eyes. Follow your left hand down. And then back up to the top. 1 more each side. So following to the right, just with your peripheral vision, not letting your head turn. Taking that side bend in as well. It's a bit like multitasking. It's a bit like patting your head and on your tummy. Come back up to the top. Last one to the left. Following that strap still on the left-hand side with your eyes. And then back up to the top. Keep the strap wide. Stay at the top with your arms above your head. So this one we're not going to be able to follow because we're going to take the strap behind our head. But as we do it, choose one side the first time of your peripheral vision and just watch your hand disappear. And then we'll move your eyes to the other side peripherally. Okay, so we're just going to take the strap and move it behind our heads and watch the strap in your hands going out. You might have to widen your arms a little bit more to allow your shoulders to roll backwards. So quite wide now. And then bring it up and same thing, same side with your peripheral vision. Just connect and watch it come back into your vision and bring the strap down in front of you and follow it down. So this time move to your other side, to your other peripheral side. And you're looking at the strap coming up and you're looking at it coming over and then disappearing out of view. You still know where it's going because you've got proprioception. But then it comes back up and then your hand comes into view on that side and then follow the strap back down. Take 1 more each side. So inhale up, follow the strap on your peripheral vision as it then disappears out of view. Keep looking to that side and then watch it come back into vision. Maybe you can still see your hand. I think I can because I've slightly turned my head. So watch you haven't done that because your nose wants to follow whatever you're looking at. Okay, last one to the other side. Watch the peripheral vision. See where your nose has gone. Try and keep it forward. So you probably then can't see your hand behind you. If you can, your hand's probably a bit too far forward. And then back down, watching the strap come down. give your shoulders a rest, let go of the strap, and just have a little bit of a roll through your shoulders. Quite strong, that one. And we tend to grip and hold on to the strap, which puts more tension through the shoulders, but it's very difficult to stop that. Okay, uncross, recross the legs. We've got one more. Sorry, I should have said that. If you ever feel that, please always do change the legs. Okay, so last one's a twist. So we're taking the strap wide and we're putting it across behind the shoulders. So you can feel your palms are facing forwards, and you've got it between your thumbs and your palms, and then your fingers lightly holding it. But you want to stretch then your arms out until you can feel that strap against the back of your shoulders. So then move your heart backwards so that you feel your shoulders connect even more to the strap. Find that tummy engagement, find that chin engagement. And then we're going to follow the strap by moving our head this time. We're taking a twist. So inhale tall, and then exhale. We can't see the strap behind us. You can maybe use your peripheral vision on the side that you're turning towards, just to watch your hand moving and follow it. And then come back to the front, slowly, slowly, slowly. Move the peripheral vision to the other side. Inhale tall, and then exhale, twist. So twisting from the base of the spine upwards towards the shoulders. Try not to let the head come into it. It may want to go with you. Come back to the front. This time we will take the head with us. So inhale tall, engage the tummy muscles as you exhale, and let the head gently, when you come to that part of the spine, turn with your spine. So it will be the last thing to turn and look towards your right hand, or whichever hand you've twisted. And then come back to the front, following that hand with your head, and then let the head come back to center. And then we're doing the same thing other side. Inhale tall, twisting from the base of the spine. The head's not moving at this point. When you feel it's come up through your shoulders towards your neck, let your neck then turn and look towards that hand behind you. And then keep the head there and let it turn back from the base of your spine, back up through. And your head's the last thing to turn back to center. And release the strap. So, how do your shoulders feel now? Stretch your legs out, get rid of anything you're sitting on. Stretch them out in front of you in Garudasana. Staff pose. You can still sit in something if you want to here, but it's probably easier not to, what we're about to do now. So if your shoulders are feeling a little bit warm or still a bit tense from those movements, just take a couple of gentle back strokes. Let the body twist with it, make it quite slow. Don't whip your arms round. We're not all in the Olympics this morning. And then after you've done it evenly, bring the arms forward. So let's take our right foot in now and bring it into a figure of four. So flex the right foot, your left foot's flexed as well because it's switched on, and take the foot and cross it over your knee. If that's too strong, do it a little bit lower on your shin, but don't use your knee, sorry. Your thigh or your knee, you want your just above your ankle to be resting on. So it can be lower down, or it can be higher up, wherever you're comfortable. And make sure it's not bone to bone, because you'll feel it if it is, it's very uncomfortable. And just have a little rock through your sit bones, make sure they're even. And then we're going to take our arms out to the side, and we're going to bring our right elbow under, oh no, sorry, we're not. We're going to take our left arm across, and we're going to take our right elbow underwards, underside, and either the forearm again or the upper arm, but not the elbow. We want to make our figure of four on the arms as well. Palms are both facing backwards. Close your eyes, find that third eye point again, and then just take 3 breaths, inhaling for 4, exhaling for 4. So find that inhale coming up through the Anya chakra, and exhaling back through the Anya chakra. Watch your posture while you're doing this. Just draw yourself up if you can feel yourself rolling backwards. One more breath. Really in a knot here. After the third breath, undo your arms. Undo your legs, take the other side, 3 breaths on the other side. You can add your little mantras if you feel like you want to say them again. So I have the answers, or I trust my feelings. So sorry, what am I doing here? Yeah, figure of 4 the other way. So right arm across, that's what I'm doing in a minute. Right arm across and into your figure of 4. Palms facing backwards, either forearms or upper arms, however much you want to extend the shoulder. But I wouldn't go too mad this morning. Keep both feet flexed and then find your breath and take 3 breaths. Inhaling through the Anya chakra. Close your eyes, you'll really connect better that way. Connect to everything in your body better by closing your eyes because there's no visual stimulus. Inhale, exhale for you, 4. Probably got another 1 to do. And then release the arms, have a big stretch out, release the legs, have a little wiggle of your feet. Now we're going into 2 versions here of Sage's pose you can take. So it's either draw the right knee in and have the foot flat to the floor inside of your left leg, or cross over and get into a bit more of a twist and a bit more of a knot here, whichever you prefer, do that. And then we're thinking about making sure both sit bones are still feeling grounded. You haven't completely lifted off one. If you have, then bring your leg back over and find a square sitting position. This is where we want to separate the arms out and then bring elbow to elbow. So we're going into eagle arms here. So twisting round and then let your elbows soften and settle on your knee that's pointing upwards. So you'll feel a bit roundy back now. It's not what we would normally do, but just let your tummy soften so that your back, draw your tummy backwards slightly and allow your back to soften and round. Allow your head then to roll forward and maybe it can even rest on your arms. So we're tied in knots here, but it's very introverted, this sort of feeling. So have 3 breaths here now. Either using a mantra if you want to. I trust my feelings, or I have the answers. 3 breaths, nice and slow. Softening with the exhale. Still connecting to the ground, still supported by the ground. After your 3rd breath, come up slowly, roll slowly up through the spine, lifting the head gently, allowing the arms to open up, and the legs to open up, having a little wiggle through anything that needs it, and then move into the other side. Choose which way you want to do your legs, so one side or the other. Whichever, find your feet flat, find your left foot flat on the floor and flex your right foot. Switch it on, draw yourself up a little bit more. Find your sit bones both feeling grounded, one slightly raised, and then take your arms out in the opposite way with your twisted eagle arms. So elbow to elbow, hands in together. So you twist your hands so that your left hand is now holding onto the mound of your right thumb. And then draw your knees, draw your elbows and soften them onto your knees so that you're supported by your knees, which is supported by your foot, which is supported by the ground. And then let your head roll forward and just let it soften onto your hands. Find that nice big space through the spine and the back of your body, across the shoulders that we've been working. Find your breath, 3 breaths, either choosing to just breathe through your Anya chakra area or choosing mantras. Sometimes we don't want mantras, sometimes we just want stillness and silence. After the 3rd breath, we're going to open up. And then we're going to release everything and we're going to come down onto our backs. Roll down gently, find your feet on the floor, knees bent. We're going to do our twisted roots here just for 3 breaths each, not for very long. So We're lifting our right leg and crossing our right leg over our left, as if you were sitting cross-legged in a chair. Really squeeze the inner thighs here. Find the connection there between the two. And then pop your palms to the floor and just gently lift your bottom and move it to the right side slightly of your mat. So a couple of inches to give yourself room to twist. Turn the palms back up and move your hands well out the way. Still find that long back of the neck feeling. And then tuck the tummy and release the right knee over to the left. So you're folding over to the left on your bottom half. Twisted roots. Now, I didn't say grab a brick if you want to, but your toe will probably touch the floor first. It's quite a big weight from your left leg onto your right here. And it's quite a big hip opener on your right hand side. Hips are where we're often holding our emotional tie-ups. So this is a knotted position, but it's actually releasing us. So find your breath again. Take 3 breaths in this position. Through your third eye again. Which is also the point of our Sushumna Nadi, our central channel, energy channel. So we have a right and a left, and Ida and Pingala Nadi we know in our nostrils. The center one is a Sushumna, which runs right up through your spine, and that's an energetic channel. It's the main energetic channel. So we're thinking of this with the breath. We're drawing the energy in and down that main central channel. And the door to which is the Ajna chakra area. Okay, so we're going to come back up. Draw your tummy in, lift up. With your pressure on your left foot and your hands, just lift up and come back to center with your hips. Undo your legs. Have a bit of a stretch out if you need to. Hip flexors might feel a little bit tight, so a nice release there. And then bring your right foot to the floor, cross with your left leg, squeeze those inner thighs. Gently lift your hips up and move them over to the left side of the mat slightly, and then release your knees using your tummy muscles to hold on over towards your right side this time. Noting which side was more difficult and which feels a little bit tighter. So all these areas of tension are where you're holding things, where you're holding on. It's a bit like when we do a balance and our body won't let go because the muscles are thinking, whoops, we're about to fall here. So they tighten. And until you actually breathe and tell them you want to be standing on one leg wobbling, then they can release a lot more. So it's the same in a twist. So we use our breath to release these muscles that are holding on. But that's what we do physically to ourselves, mentally, because we hold on, we tense up, and then we cause ourselves physical pain and imbalance. So the two are really connected. Okay, so you probably had about 3 breaths there. Hopefully you were remembering to breathe while I talked. Bring yourself back up, engage in the tummy muscles, roll back up. Press into the foot and the hands, lift yourself back to center, undo yourself, stretch out, have a big stretch, a long stretch here. And then if you can carefully roll up if you need to, but grab your bricks. So you might not want to use your bricks here. There's a choice just to finish. So you might want to do supported fish, which is the one behind your head with a brick and behind your bra strap, sorry fish, behind your bra strap. That's one option with fish. And if you're in fish, you can either have legs long, you can have feet on the floor, knees bent, or you can do the other option is to lie flat on the mat and do this as well. Feet together in Supta Baddha Konasana. And if you're in Supta Baddha Konasana, I would suggest you then goalpost your arms. So you flatten the floor with your feet together in that bound angle and goalpost arms flat, back of the hand to the floor. So decide which one of those feels more appropriate for you this morning. You might not want to raise yourself up, but both of them are very opening. So we're thinking about opening our knots here. So find your position, wiggle yourself into it, settle yourself. If legs extended in fish is too strong, then please put your feet to the floor and bend your knees. It's quite strong on the lower back, that one. And make sure you feel connected to the bricks under you. Your brick should be on your back, slightly lower than your shoulders, so that you can release and rotate your shoulders and open the front of your shoulders and let your arms fall to the floor. Okay. So now that we've all settled in a much more open position than we've been doing this morning, I'm just going to read a little moral to you about opening our knots to finish our pop-up this month. So once a wise man came to share his wisdom with a crowd of followers. He arrived carrying a beautiful silk handkerchief, and he asked, "What do you see?" And they replied, "A beautiful silken handkerchief." The wise man slowly started to tie knots in the handkerchief. He tied 5 knots, and then he asked whether it was the same handkerchief, and they replied it was the same, but different, as it was in knots now. "This is what I want you to understand," he said. "You cannot see the silken fabric that you are, because you are in knots." He then pulled the fabric from both sides and asked if this was the way to loosen the knots. And they all replied no, it would in fact tighten them and make them harder to open. "Why then do you try to open your knots by pulling? You're trying too hard and making it more complicated." He then asked how to open the knots, and a man answered that he would come closer to observe and understand how the knots were formed, and by doing this, they would see how to undo them. The wise man said, "This is right. In the same way, we must observe and consider our own knots before trying to open them." We all have our knots, our difficulties, and we perpetually try to solve them in the same manner that we always have. It becomes part of our mental habit, our samskara, to try to fix our problems the same way. However, often rather than being a solution, we actually tighten the knots. When we slow down and take the time to stand back and observe these knots as a witness, we see them better and how they are formed. We can then learn to unravel and open them with patience and thoughtfulness, and ultimately release ourselves from them. So gather your breath now and take a couple of breaths just before you move out of position. Take your time, take some nice slow breaths. And when you're ready, gently move. You can stay here, of course, if you just want to switch me off at the end and stay in Shavasana or stay in this, then please do so. Otherwise, take your time, roll to your side, take a couple of breaths, open your eyes now, connect visually. It is important to connect visually. And then come up to seated when you're ready. So everybody back to where we should be or where we want to be. So we're at the end of our summer pop-up, and I don't think there's been much summer to be spoken of, but there we go. August starts on Monday. We've got some new people coming. Thank you to those that have put the word out there and brought some new folks along. So yeah, we look forward to another lovely 4 weeks of yoga. Those guys are coming to the retreat. There'll be more information coming next week. And I'm still advertising it because there's a few spaces left. So if anybody here wants to jump in still, then please let me know. Those that have already told me, I'll get back to you next week with options and prices and anything else. There's no hurry for it. Your spaces are reserved. If you've made a choice already, it's reserved. So thank you everybody for your practice, for your loyalty, for your trust in me, and look forward to doing another 4 weeks of lovely yoga with you next month. Namaste.